Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Saturday, the 16th of July 2022. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to use the Osho Zen deck for today's reading. I just want to show you some of these cards because this is a very unusual deck. And if you're a tarot beginner, then this is not a deck I would really recommend, because I'm sometimes even a bit stumped with it. Because here, for instance, this is the Three of Cups, and we've got the 3 for blue. But I've been using these cards for a long time, and I know this is the Major Arcana card 12, but they changed the original name of it. And then you've got other things like this, with like arrows back and forth. Is it a court card? Is it an ace card? It's a little bit confusing unless you study the deck in depth in itself. Like this, for instance. Could be any card in the suit of cups. Nothingness, 5. So let's see what the cards then have to say and what energy you'll be working with on this Saturday. Hope you've had a great week so far. Now you've got some fun plans for the weekend here. Let's see what Saturday is all about. We've got awareness. Breakthrough. And ripeness. So the rainbow thing here is the 9 of Pentacles. And these, I suppose, are Major Arcana cards. So usually the 7th card in the Major Arcana... Wow, yikes, I don't even know what that is. Oh, the Chariot. Wow, okay, so instead of a practical success and a triumph of self-will over matter, the way it appears in the usual Major Arcana, this is a breakthrough in terms of your awareness. So it's a spiritual triumph. It's a spiritual victory. And then here, breakthrough, the 11th card in the Major Arcana. Sometimes in the regular tarot that the 11 is the Justice card, and sometimes it's strength. And here I feel it's more aligned with strength, because we've got someone using their own strength and willpower to have this amazing breakthrough. So these two cards are very similar, and they're saying that you really cross the threshold here, and you're able to open the veil or to pull it back to see or to reveal your own kind of Buddha nature. And I know that sounds very grand, but it's just getting to this place of, hey, actually, I can always connect with my higher self. It's not as complicated as I thought. You know, I think I mentioned this recently, but I went to like a talk in Dublin, and I was on a big spiritual mission. It was early in my recovery, and I was like, okay, because I'm so extreme, it's not just enough for me to have a spiritual awakening, the way they say in the 12 steps, but because I'm me and I'm special, I need to become fully enlightened, right? I don't do things by halves. So I show up to this place in Dublin, and there's this speaker there, and he's like, yeah, you know, I was enlightened for a couple of days, and what I realized is that you're all enlightened already and you don't need to do anything. And I was like, oh, I took a Ryanair plane to Dublin to hear this, that really I'm already where I need to be. I wasn't impressed, basically. I was like, you don't have any like skills or tips or anything that I could do to feel a bit more enlightened? Because whether you tell me I'm enlightened or not, I really don't feel very shiny right now. I feel nuts. So thanks for telling me I'm already enlightened. Anyway, but ultimately he did have a point, because we do all have access to our higher self at any point, and it doesn't matter if you're going through the worst time in your life or the best time. If you find a way to go within and to access that bit of... So I do agree with him that we all have enlightenment within us. He was right. But I disagree in the sense that we don't need to do anything. For me, I tried lots of different meditation techniques. And when I found transcendental meditation, which is just a type of mantra meditation where you say the same word over and over and over again, that for me works. It makes me aware of my consciousness. After 5-10 minutes, I feel like I'm sinking down in a pool, and at the bottom of the pool is this stream of consciousness, and that's how I experience my higher power. And when I'm near it, then I get the sense of love and connection and dialogue and support and all that stuff. But I have to do something to get there. I do need to do transcendental meditation. You know, mindfulness is super popular at the moment. People love that. I could never tolerate mindfulness. I'd just be on the walls. It would be like, oh, I can't do this. I don't want to be aware of every moment. In fact, I want to get away from every moment. Other people like chanting, yoga, qigong, whatever it is that ultimately works for you. Because the thing is, if you're going to have a spiritual practice in your life, then it can't be like this torturous, arduous chore that you have to do every day, because you're never going to be consistent. If it's a genuine relationship that you discover, then it's worth doing because it's easy and it's fun and it actually gives you something. So here, you can be victorious and triumphant and successful in finding your own inner awareness. And if you haven't been able to do that up until now, then maybe try Buddhism, because we've got the Buddha here. Maybe that'll work for you. Maybe try some sort of religion that's popular in your local area, or try different types of spirituality or different types of meditation or spiritual practices that you feel drawn to, because ultimately it's a personal experience, it's a personal practice. And there are as many ways of connecting to the universe as there are people on this planet. That's why I always took exception with the whole Christian message of the only way to God is through Jesus, because no, it isn't. Some of us, thank you very much, don't have access to Jesus and we still want God. So don't tell us that, thank you. I am a big believer that, yes, there are as many varieties of spiritual practices as there are people. And if that's something you've struggled with or simply been uninterested in, but you feel like maybe this is something I should explore, look at it again today and see what comes up and see what you're drawn to. Try that out. You can really be unexpectedly successful in finding this inner contentment and connection and peace, because that's what it's all about, really. It's not about the community of people who go to the ashram every, I don't know, Wednesday or whatever. It's really about finding something within that gives you the strength to live your life well, or it's finding something that helps you to cope with difficult situations as and when they arise. So here we've got this shadowy figure. So I don't know who I am. I can't really see myself, but if I kind of burn away the fog via this spiritual practice, then I reveal the best version of myself. So again, if you're not particularly impressed with yourself right now, you don't feel like you've achieved as much as you've wanted, or you've got to the place in life you want to be, look at some sort of spiritual practice. It will reveal your ideal self, or a side of yourself that you can actually fall in love with and admire. So breakthrough, I feel, is very similar, because if you look at the chariot in the regular tarot, it's someone hopping on their chariot to get somewhere they want to go. And a breakthrough is the same thing, having the strength to actually say, I am going to get on the chariot and I'm going to ride towards my ideal destination. So you have the confidence and the power and the energy to try this again. And then finally, ripeness is the Nine of Pentacles, and that's about work and being diligent. And usually we've got a very abundant, prosperous woman as the Nine of Pentacles. It's a woman who's elegant and she's surrounded by grapes. Here we've got, plums or apples or something. So there's more than enough. And you get there by doing the legwork, by being consistent and trying something. So it's interesting because it's like what I said about my personal sense of connection. I have to do something. I have to sit down and do transcendental meditation to feel this sense of to feel like I'm getting somewhere. I can't just say, oh yeah, I'm already enlightened, ta-da. It doesn't work for me. And the cards are saying that if you want to dissolve this veil, there is a process of kind of punching through or breaking through some sort of seeming obstacle or some sort of barrier, which isn't just imaginary, it actually is there, keeping you from this feeling of peace. But if you do the work, then not only can you break through, you get to a place that feels super, super rich and abundant. So it's spiritual abundance and discovering spiritual prosperity for yourself. I even made a video on this, so I'm sorry if I'm boring you guys, because I've talked about meditation so much. But when I first got into it, I really didn't want to meditate. I'm a triple earth sign in terms of my natal chart. And the last thing I wanted to do was have a spiritual practice. Plus, I was brought up in a fundamentalist Christian environment, and that kind of put me off. So it was really something I wasn't particularly into. And I have to say, despite all of those hang-ups that I had towards spirituality and religion, since I started the meditation practice 12 years ago, my life has got transformed beyond my wildest dreams. It has got so much better because it allowed me to live my own life, to listen to my inner voice instead of listening to what other people expect me to do. I read something on Twitter yesterday, actually, that's very much on this topic. A guy said, 5 years ago, I was in this car accident and my car kind of slid under this truck or something. And as the car was going under, I was like, okay, this is it. My life is over. And then he thought at the same moment, and I hated my whole life. He survived the accident. He was okay. And on the same day, he quit his job. He decided to move locations because he's like, okay, that was a wake-up call. I'm not here to just hate my life and to do what other people think I ought to be doing. Yes, it's hard, but I have the confidence now through this experience and this wake-up call to say, this is my life, I want to enjoy it, and I'm going to do whatever I want, regardless of what other people think of it. And then he went on his way and did something completely different, and he's now living a life that he loves and enjoys. And it's that kind of moment of, this isn't just something I'm going to tolerate for 80 years. This is something that I want to maximize and do something with, as in my life. Okay, so number-wise, we've got 7 and 9. That's 16. And then another 9. No, not 9, that's 11. Excuse me, let me concentrate. 7 and 11 is 18. Yep. 18 and 9 is 27. 2 and 7 is 9. And 9 in numerology is spirituality and completion. So the sense of being disconnected from your own higher self, from your own spiritual truth. You can close off that problem. You can break through the barrier once and for all and say, I've completed this endless search, this discovery, this search for meaning, and I've actually found it on this day, to the extent where it's so right in front of you that it's like plucking an apple from a tree. It's that easy. So again, if this isn't, your favorite area to look into, and most of us have busy lives, we've got friends and families and jobs and bills and places to go and errands to run and da-da-da. Like, most people don't say, okay, I'm going to spend this whole day connecting with my higher self. Most of us don't do this. But on this day here, on Saturday, it's a really, really good idea because there is actually the potential to have a major breakthrough and then to tick the box to finish off this topic and to say, I actually know who my higher self is, how to connect with something bigger. I know how to do this and it's no longer an issue. There we go. Okay, so I hope you have a great day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to audio reading with me. And I use the tarot, numerology and astrology in my personal readings. So if you have any questions about your life purpose or kind of what spirituality or spiritual practice is likely to work for you, I look at the 12th house and what that's ruled by to see what things to try are, what I feel is likely to work for you to connect you to something bigger. If you have practical questions around moving or finance or relationships, I can look at all of those by drawing up your birth chart. So if you have any questions for me, please do get in touch for a personal reading. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe and share the video online. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.